Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pokemon Masters Console Podcast Episode 41. I've got my friend Justin here. Justin, say hello to the people.
Today, we're going to be talking about the big regionals that just happened over in San Diego. Really, really exciting. We're going over to some of the lists, finals. We watched it all, so it's really fun. Super exciting. Link in the description if you want to check out the stream that they had. 2-3 days of playing.
Yeah, two full days. It was the first regional of Gen 9, so huge. This was a monumental event as far as Gen 9 is concerned. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. There was some pretty big names. There was some pretty insane teams. Not as many insane teams in Top Cut, in Top 32. There's a little less variety there. Yeah. And we'll talk about Series 1 and the state of Series 1 in a little bit when we talk about those teams and we talk about the regionals. But before we get started, we just want to say thank you to everyone who has joined us on our journey to 1,000 subscribers. If you're not subscribed already, you know what to do. I don't even have to tell you, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
Hit that button, baby.
Hit the button. So, yes. So thank you guys. It's been really cool to see the growth of the channel. And it's rewarding for us. It shows us that you guys like what we're doing, and we're gonna keep doing it. Like it's awesome. So please help us get to 1,000 subscribers if you're not subscribed already. Justin,
there's been a lot going on. There's a lot to talk about. But first, we want to catch up, see what the hosts have been up to. So, what do you got going on so far? What have you been up to the past 2 weeks since the last podcast?
So, I guess we got two big things for me to talk about. One of them I won't spend a lot of time on. I had a minor procedure done yesterday.
Yeah.
I have a port. Well, I had a port in my chest, and the procedure was to take it out. So for those of
now
you,
your arm is just sort of dead.
Yeah. So I'm a bona fide lefty. But see, like I literally couldn't even like move my left hand to put it in frame because that's how like disoriented I am. So yeah. So I have
that for like a week.
Yeah, I have a 10-pound weight limit for the first week, and then. So I've got stitches in my chest here on the right side because I had a port for some health stuff I dealt with last year. And yeah.
Well, good news is you don't have 3 young sons that want to wrestle.
Yeah, imagine having 3 young sons who wanted to wrestle their dad with a 10-pound weight limit. Yeah.
Yikes.
Imagine I had to carry one of those kids left-handed.
Exactly.
I wasn't even supposed to this morning.
Yep.
The other thing, so January 28th, that is a Saturday. We are planning a birthday stream for
yourself.
Myself. I am I'm the head director of my own birthday stream.
Cusco! What's his name?
So that's what it's going to be like. Yeah, so the 28th, and it's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep.
So we're probably just going to be on for a couple hours. You can watch it on YouTube.
We're going to be playing a couple different games, not only Pokemon. We're going to be playing other things too, just having some fun. But part of it, we will be closing out with some competitive stream at the end. So it's just going to be a whole bunch of different stuff. So definitely drop in. Check out the stream. It's going to be a lot of fun. Streaming has been something we've been talking about. We've been dabbling in a little bit. And, as the time goes on, we are going to be doing more and more of as our schedules permit. So this is going to be a real fun one.
Yeah, so probably some Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart to start for the first little bit, and then we're going to play...
Somebody mentioned Mario Party.
Mario Party, yep. So then after that, we're going to close out with 3v3 Battle Stadium singles and Master Ball.
Yep.
I've already made it to Master Ball. It's just a formality, so...
Another option would be doing the free-for-alls on Showdown, which is really fun.
Free-for-alls on Showdown. Let us know what you want to see on the stream. If you're watching this, listening, drop a comment. What would you like to see us stream outside of Battle Stadium singles? Because that's a given. We're going to play Battle Stadium singles. So I already got tons of Pokemon made. We could even do like some live team building. I could just put all of my Pokemon in a box. And then you guys could just pick like, oh, I want to use this. So anyway, that's what I got going on. Justin, what about you?
Outside of the Pokemon world, other than that, we'll get into the rest of the topic basically. But outside of Pokemon world, the new rules dropped for Warhammer. So I went out and had a practice game. Went really well. It was a lot of fun. Then this weekend, by the time you're hearing this, it'll be tomorrow on Saturday. We're gonna be going out to Grand Haven, so out to the lake shore. Got a couple of buddies out there. Just going to get together, a nice round robin, practice all the new rules, get to try a bunch of new stuff. So it should be a lot of fun. We put up the invite for our new tournament. So the tournament that I'm running, that'll be February 4th. So by the time you guys hear this, it'll be less than a month away. And it'll be really fun. This is the first time I'm like taking the lead as tournament organizer, so it's a lot of fun.
Okay, a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. Super fun. A lot of questions so far. Been really busy bee, but outside of Pokemon, that's what I've been working on.
So you said the new rules dropped. Did they officially?
No.
They've been officially. Okay. So
they leaked.
You got the. So it's like when Showdown puts up the Series 2 ladder, and we're still in Series 1. Is kind of what you're saying here.
GHB 2023, I just have the whole thing as screenshots.
Okay, yeah.
There you go.
Yep, so he's got the rules, there's
all the screenshots, everything. So yeah, I got everything you need. We just played off this because, it leaked, so we wanted to try it and get ahead of the thing. Our tournament will be once the book's officially released. It releases on the 21st of
by that time...
By the time it will be released, by the time our tournament goes. Yeah, okay. But we're getting practice in now, which is a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
So I'm still playing Dwarves, as everybody knows. That's all I play is Dwarves. There's 3 different types, and there's City Dwarves, there's Sky, like Steampunk Dwarves, and there's Fire Dwarves. And I'm playing the Fire Dwarves this season for 6 months, and it was my first game with them, and it was a lot of fun. I ended up winning. Okay. It was super close. In terms of like models,
you gonna adjust your list at all? Did you?
Yeah. So
you find some things that you wanted to change, maybe?
Yeah. This Saturday, I'm bringing enough models for 3 different potential lists.
Oh, okay.
So we're literally just throwing spaghetti. That's the whole theme of the day. Like
that's sick though.
One of the guys knows somebody at a brewery, so afterwards we're gonna go grab drinks. Beforehand, someone is gonna grab some coffee, and someone else is one of their family members or somebody is like a baker by trade, so they're going to bring a bunch of... Everybody's just pitching in. Just a big bro day. But it's basically we want to try out all the new rules. Yeah. So we're just going to be getting together at like 9 a.m. and just playing till the sun goes down, basically, and then going to have some drinks. There's like a live concert out in Grand Haven that night. Going to be checking out.
My God, man. I wish I played Warhammer. This sounds like fun.
Yeah. It's going to be a whole day of it. It's just a practice day, but it's going to be a lot of fun. There's actually another Fire Dwarves player there. So it's a super rare army. Very few people in the world, like global stat center for AOS. Age of Sigmar, for people that don't know. The AOS stat center, like, I think they're like less than 1% of the meta. Like, it's very, very low percent that people play Fire Slayers. But there's 3 in our local area. Me and then 2 other guys in Grand Haven. One of them is bringing their Fire Dwarves too, so it'll be 2 of us out of 6.
Okay. Oh, wow.
We might have some dwarf on dwarf action to talk about next podcast.
Yeah, but then you guys can like talk about your lists afterwards. That's like like twice the testing that you were planning on getting.
We've been in a group chat and we've been talking about it extensively.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So
in terms of Pokemon, there's a lot of news to talk about. The first thing, little adjacent, Zacian for Unite got announced.
So yes, Zacian got announced.
He's like a full-on box art legendary, and he's a playable character. Like they're just playable now.
Where's Boomer?
Yes,
where is Rillaboom?
It's a weird world, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. Zacian is a playable character. Feels weird, but I'm happy for people that are happy for him. That's all I have to say.
Gen 8 has really been getting its Unite representation lately, because we got both Urshifus
in
Dragapult, and now we're getting Zacian. And then we already had
Boomer, no Boomer,
but we did we
no Applin.
We got Cramorant, Cinderace, Eldegoss, Duraludon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I'm missing somebody. There has to be more Gen 8 Pokemon in this game. There has to be.
Well, yeah, then Dreadnought was a boss.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty exciting. So we obviously haven't been on Unite for a while. There's a lot of reasons. The game was kind of buggy for a while, and then obviously Gen 9 came out. So we care way more about this than Unite. Unite was fun for what it was, and you and I love playing a game with team stuff, and maybe in the future we'll get into it. Maybe Splatoon, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe streaming.
Maybe streaming.
But you probably won't see us, like, hitting Master Rank or anything. Like,
it's
if you see us play Unite,
it's not something we care about anymore.
It's going to be super casual.
Yeah.
It's going to be super casual if we stream Unite.
Yeah.
They nickel and dime you too much. So.
Yeah. So we also put out our Discquake team. This is probably to date our best VGC squad that we have for the PMC channel. There is a PokePaste in the squad if you want to use it yourself. So go check that out.
Highly suggest you use the team. Like if you're trying,
it's our best Series 1 VGC squad. I think so. I think this is our gold nugget.
I think so too. I think so. Like if you want a solid team to just kind of like ladder with, pick up this team. It was so solid. It had answers for everything. Like it was super fun. So you know that. Like I said, that's, in terms of our Series 1, and I say that because we only have a couple more weeks until Series 2, and that officially got announced, bro. Zero. It did.
Tell me about it. Do you got something you want to pull up?
Yeah, I do have something I want to pull up. So, Series 2 rules have been announced, and let's talk about it. Let's spend some time talking about Series 2, okay?
Yep.
So, Series 2. It's the second format, obviously, and Paradox Pokemon are allowed in this format.
But not ruin Pokemon.
So that is big.
It's sort of like what we had pre-Series 1, like our kindergarten kind of phase, right?
Yeah.
It's really interesting. So the Paradox Pokemon, obviously super strong. Half of them are from the future, and they get buffed with electric terrain, and half of them are from the past, and they get buffed with the sun.
Yeah.
So Pincurchin and Torkoal stocks are going to go way up. I think Garchomp's still going to be great.
Yep, I think so too.
Stuff like that. I think, as you can see on this picture, Ceruledge and Armarouge are both still going to have good play in the meta.
I think they'll be better with Paradox Pokemon around.
Because Armarouge already loves being in the sun. Ceruledge loves being in the sun. I love that Solar Blade. So I think there's still play there. But in terms of the returning Pokemon, we'll give them a quick little synopsis. This is not the sort of deep dive Series 2 show, but oh boy, howdy do we have a lot of thoughts on this.
Yeah.
But real quick for the people, let's give them a little tease. What are we thinking about for the new Paradox Poke, or, new in terms of actual series of VGC? What do you think about the new Paradox? Hit me with your first hot pick.
My first hot pick, I think Roaring Moon will be top of the pile. That's my early prediction, is that Roaring Moon will be the most used Paradox Pokemon. Yep. What about you?
I'm really hyping on Slitherwing.
Slitherwing?
Very, very strong.
Wait, do you think it'll be the best, or do you think you just want to use it?
No, I think Roaring Moon will be the best.
Okay.
I think Roaring Moon will be the best. Slitherwing, I think, is going to be really strong. Iron Moth, both Volcaronas. Yep. Very, very powerful, both in what we've already tested before, pre-Series 1, as well as just, us looking at the stats and kind of calculating some things out on Pokemon Calculator.
Speaking of which, we did an Iron Moth guide, and we put it out the day after Iron Moth got announced that he was going to get banned.
But he's coming back now.
You might want to check out that guide if you haven't done it already.
It is not outdated. Everything we said then still applies now. Unless we specifically mention
we did talk about Chi-Yu, I think, but
that's okay.
But then
Chi-Yu will be back eventually.
Yes. Yeah.
So very, 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 very excited for Series 2. But we do have some Series 1 stuff to finish up, so that's kind of what we're going to be focused on for the channel, just for people to be aware. A little update for us throughout the month of January until Series 2 actually announces. Most of our all of our channel stuff will be still Series 1, and we're so, in the background, we'll be setting up for Series 2, obviously. But we will have Series 1 content through the entirety of Series 1.
Absolutely. So the stream will kind of be our farewell.
Yeah. Let's mention that real quick, is because we are on 2-month series, not 3. I don't think it's the biggest thing in the world, but I will say I am a little bit glass half empty on this one. I'm thumbs down. I think it's too quick.
It is really fast, and it even says right here that Series 2 is the official format of ranked battles from February 1st to March 31st.
So 2 months ago.
So they have it written off all funny.
Yeah.
Is unconfirmed whether it's going to be used in VGC events. I do feel like 2 months is too fast. So now we're kind of at that point where
it's a double-edged sword, right? Because if it sucks, that means we get to
we're
get rid
out of there, yeah.
Right?
But if it's awesome, if we get a Series 7, Series 9 kind of thing from Gen 8.
From Gen 8, yeah.
That was the best series.
Off.
That was the best series.
I like 9.
So I have to say, this is where I might, and I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me.
Yeah,
if you do, that's fine. That's fine.
Hit me with it.
This is now, if this is going to be the thing, I hope that they do rotating formats. Like we go back to Series 1, so like Series 3 would be Series 1 again, and we go back and forth?
I agree with what you're saying, but I don't think it's going to be Series 3, because look at that time frame. What's March?
Spring?
And what's in spring?
Pokemon Home?
So I'm assuming, my guess might be that March could be home for Series 3, and that means we'd have the Hisuian Pokemon for Series, and all that coming in for Series 3, or 4. 3 or 4.
Yeah.
We'll have the Hisuian meta, and that's... We already have set guides recorded and ready to go for Hisuian Pokemon, so that's very, very hype.
So, I'm kind of curious. So, we'll talk about like the trajectory of VGC, and then we'll talk about Series 2 again for a couple minutes before we talk about our main topic, because I want to spend some time on this.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious, like, how do you keep the formats fresh for a while? Like, because I'm worried that the trajectory is like 2-month formats for the first like year, and then we get legendary Pokemon in, and then we just kind of like stick to that for the entirety of the rest of the game. That's 2 years, you know? That's
what's going to be rough. It's usually about a 3-year cycle between games, between generations. So yeah, it'd be, I'm assuming at least a year and a half before we start getting into legendary. So that's my fingers crossed. We'll see.
Because
it is more fun to use like the quote unquote regular Pokemon.
Because if we never do Series 1 again, then like we'll never have a format where like Golduck is usable.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like rest in peace. Like this is the only time he's ever been viable, like ever.
And now he has a niche, and it'll just be thrown away when more things get voted.
It's going to be done in February when the Paradox Pokemon comes. So it's like I was hoping that we would do this for 3 months at least.
Yeah.
But now we got the Paradox Pokemon coming back, and they're going to be super strong. They're going to be very centralizing. And the team archetypes are going to be very, very... I mean, we already know it's going to be Sun.
Yeah.
It's going to be Electric Terrain. Which of the two do you think is going to be better?
Sun.
Sun?
Pincushion sucks.
Yes.
Like, he's good for what he is, but what he is trash. So, like, he's the best trash out there, but he's still trash.
Golden trash.
Yeah.
Literal golden trash.
He has uses, I'm not literally, but most of his uses are set up terrain, protect,
Sucker Punch, and Scald, which he doesn't even get Scald anymore.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what he does. He sets up terrain, he protects.
He doesn't have Rising Voltage anymore, I don't think.
That's all he is. So, the reality is... I'm going to be looking at Pokemon that actually have the move Electric Terrain. And I'm going to be trying some of that out. Terrain Extender is an exciting item to try out. So that's where my thoughts are. Otherwise, Heat Rock Torkoal, baby.
Yeah, Heat Rock Torkoal. Yep.
My secret sauce is actually... I don't know if I'm right here. This is my ear to the ground.
Okay.
Rain is going to be the secret hot tech. And... it's only for that player's choice because you're putting yourself in a weather war scenario. But if you win that weather war, Rain versus Sun, the other side instantly wins.
Yeah.
It's such a polarizing matchup. It's not the same as almost any other weather matchups. That's the one that's so heavily swung in either direction depending on who wins the war. And I'm confident in myself to be able to win that weather war.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be leaning into some Rain, I think, as well as obviously trying out the standard, Torkoal plus insert Paradox here with the photosynthesis.
So I gotta mention something, and I'm a year ahead of the game here. Okay. I think Miraidon is gonna be a god.
Miraidon? Oh yeah.
I think Miraidon's gonna be
Miraidon and Koraidon are both gonna be insanely good.
Because
and think about it, because some of these Paradox have like uber stats or borderline uber stats. Roaring Moon would be great, even when they let in things like Zacian.
Yeah.
Because you could just Terra Fire and just one-shot them. I hope they don't let Zacian be able to Terra. Just like he can't Dynamax, just no gimmicks. Get out of here.
I think he will be able to. He will, because
You think he'll Terra Water?
Because he doesn't really have Behemoth Blade anymore. Like, he does, but he doesn't. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, so you can take the Crown form, but Behemoth Blade is never going to do 200 because there's no Dynamax. So it'll always be 100 base, which is still really strong, but he himself is apparently getting nerfed as well.
Yeah. Well, and, there are other moves. Like, he does still have Sacred Sword, and he could get Smart Strike, which is another really good... I think he has, which is a good steel type, and it can't miss, so it's really good in the singles meta with those minimize.
You could be that stupid minimized strat. I've been seeing that on cart too. It's leaking into like actual real gamers.
It's becoming a thing.
I hate it so much. It's so annoying. If you run minimized drift limb, get out.
Get out.
Go.
Run.
Turn around. You, don't unsubscribe. We need you. But don't watch the rest of the stream, okay? Come back when you have thought about what you've done and you have changed your ways, okay? So
I wish the accuracy was banned.
Yeah. So yeah, Series 2, it's happening. It's going to be exciting.
Super fun.
It's going to be exciting.
Very, very excited.
I think you and I are both kind of in the same boat, though, that we hope that they kind of slow down on the series, but we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll be here for all of it. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So I think with that, we should
go get some more coffee, and then let's talk about the crazy team from the man, the myth, the legend himself, the instructor of all things internet teams, G-Sock Lee. Right. We'll talk about that when we come back.
So we're back. Once again, we have refilled the coffees. It's like a tradition now on this podcast. Got Zero here. And Justin. So, Justin, what are we going to talk about? Talk to the people while I go fetch something that I literally just put away to show off to the camera. So,
one of the things is we are going to scroll through sort of the top cut teams and take notes about their teams, different players, some of the tech that they went through. This is not going to be like a play-by-play. We're basically just going to sort of talk about, because we did watch the whole stream. It's part of what we did yesterday while he was off on medical leave, is we got on and we watched the quarters, semis, and finals together.
Yep.
We had like a NFL type day, you know what I mean? Just
it was fun.
Watching some sports, basically. We want to talk about the few times we did see some variety. We are going to talk about, obviously, Wolfie versus James Beck was interesting. We're going to talk about G-Sock's Lee team. We're going to talk about Chupa Cross's team, Aaron Brock's team. Those are all the big guys that are way up at the top of the list, right? So that's sort of what we're going to be going over. And we're going to be kind of cherry picking our favorite details of the pie.
So before we get into all that exciting stuff, I have something that's even more exciting. I got a cool Pokemon card.
Cannot wait.
Boom! Samurai V, baby. So
I can't wait for this guy to come in. Hopefully, Series 3.
This is the first mod I'm going to use.
Oh yeah,
this is the first one.
He's going to be so good.
I'm not going to give you guys the set because you'll have to wait for a how to use guide. But I just want to say, if you like Pokemon cards, you should buy singles.
I think he's got a pretty cool ability. So what are we talking about today with the new regionals? This was in San Diego, California. Over on the West Coast. Bright and sunny in January. Kind of like we have here in Michigan right now. It's kind of weird. Global warming's definitely hitting us this time of year.
Yeah, it kind of sucks because I have stitches in my arm, or my chest, pardon me.
You want to go throw disc?
I can't go disc golfing, and it's the most beautiful... Literally the day after I got my stitches in, it's the most beautiful day in January that we have had in a long time.
Ever.
So
what's some of the big... standouts? Obviously, the big giant catfish in the room was Don Dozo.
Yeah.
Don Dozer.
The Don Dozer.
The Don. So this dude, as the nickname suggests, he is sort of the king of the meta at the moment. He sort of came in and a lot of teams. Wolfie was running him. Chupa Cross ran him in the finals. Like, there were a lot of Don Dozo teams. Another big heavy hitter in the meta because Don Dozo is so good. And it has stab. Grass move, super effective against the water. That crits through all those bonuses was my... Oh, let's go!
The best starter in the game.
Flower Trick.
Just like we said,
Meowscarada. Right? Lots of different variants. Some Overgrow. Some Protean with the Choice Band set we saw, and they ran exactly what you and I called.
Exactly, dude.
The Protean was only for the choice sets. Everyone else was running Overgrow. That's that secret tech, and we called that Day 1. That's why you subscribe to the PMC. We're on that hot tech, bro. We're on there.
Yeah, we are, definitely. Yeah, we definitely did call that one for sure.
Dreadnought was insane. That's really cool.
Dreadnought,
that's actually something you and I have been practicing with.
So we got to talk about Dreadnought in Series 1 for a minute, right? Because
it's the first time he's like legit good.
And it's awesome. I mean, he was better in Pokemon Unite, let's be real. He was more important there.
Yeah.
But it is so cool because I don't remember
his
exactly.
shiny's green. A giant green snapping turtle. Yeah!
I don't remember.
Yeah! I want to smash people with my snapping turtle.
What was that team we rented that has Dreadnought on it?
It's the Rain team.
It was really good.
Yeah. We're renting the Rain team. It's got Palafin, Penelope.
It wasn't this one. It wasn't. Not the
it's not.
one.
It's not.
I don't know whose it was.
It's not this one. I don't remember where we got it from. It was from our last Excuse me. It's from our last podcast. One of those tournaments had a Rain team.
Okay. Because, dude, Dreadnought...
excuse me. This is James Beck's Rain team.
Oh, yeah. Yep,
it
was from his channel, yeah. So, okay, Dreadnought hits like an absolute truck.
He's very strong.
Has a really
like
awesome...
120, 125 physical attack, 80, 85 speed, but he's got Swift Swim, so double in the rain. He's that new poncho. You know how much I love that poncho. Dreadnought's great.
Rock Slide,
stab Rock Slide. He Terra Grass. Let's go.
Let's
go. So, how much you love it.
So he's got Rock, Water, and Grass stab.
With Protect. Super strong. And for singles, he has Shell Smash this generation. Brand new, buddy. Wow, that thing is strong.
Does he learn Rock Blast? Can you do Shell Smash, Rock Blast?
I don't know. It'd be worth looking into.
I wonder.
So yeah, the Chupa Cross, super fun team, bro. Palmont.
Yeah, let me
wow, did we see some cool stuff? Oh, you want to just pull it up?
Let's pull up some visuals.
Yeah.
We'll talk about some of these teams in detail.
So you love the Palmont. Natural Cure for absorbing spores with a Focus Sash to use Revival Blessing, and he had Fake Out, Close Combat, like just a super offense utility. What a monster. That's right up your alley.
So... yeah, just Natural Cure was something that honestly in VGC it makes the most sense because sleep is such a big deal. But honestly, like Natural Cure is the ability from him that I kind of like dismissed.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did actually we were watching a game before we knew that it was Natural Cure.
Mm-hmm.
We were watching a game and he got spored, and then he got a Pokemon knocked out, and then he switched out his Palmont. We were like, man. Chupa, he's up against the wall here. Like, how does he win this?
Yeah.
And then Palmont came back and he was awake, and I was like, bro, he's Natural Cure.
He's Natural Cure,
bro.
It was really good.
So,
usually you see, the Voltorb or the Iron Fist, depending on your set. But
that
yeah,
is
the Natural
so
Cure
good.
coming in right there.
That is so good for VGC. Like, Natural Cure, I wouldn't have, like I said, I wouldn't have thought of it. Amazing tech.
So let's talk about the star in the room. Let's pull up G-Sock's team.
Okay, so here's the team.
So we have rented this team. We have played with it. It's a lot of fun. Go check that video out on the channel. I don't think it's out today, but definitely go check it out when it is out.
I'm gonna make us invisible for a second so you guys can see the
rental code.
Rental code. So rental code's out here. It's C6221L. I want to make sure I got that right for people listening. Yep, C6221L. So pick up the rental team if you want to try it. We are going to try it. We'll have a video of it.
Baxcalibur with Thermal Exchange, Loaded Dice, Glaive Rush, Icicle Spear, Ice Shard, Protect. That's kind of the star of the show. Especially because it's Terra, Water. Zero, you've been talking about Baxcalibur so far. Yeah. He's not maybe the best design, but he's not the worst. I like him. But wow, is it hard to grasp what he's going to Terra into? Yeah,
because, okay. I use Terra Poison, which has worked for me. The game that I got into Master Ball so literally yesterday.
I've used Ice.
I Terra Poisoned on a Tauros, and he used Close Combat,
and you resisted.
And I resisted, and I KO'd him because I was already Dragon Danced up the turn before. Because it was up against a Volcarona who went Terra Fairy, thinking I was going to Glaive Rush into it. Anyway, details you don't care about. So we've seen Terra Water now. I use Terra Poison, which is not an idea that necessarily I came up with. I've seen it before.
Yep.
Terra Steel.
Yep.
Terra Electric. Terra Ice.
Exactly, for those ice shards. There's so many options for this guy.
Terra Ground.
Terra Ground. I've also seen Terra Flying, just to avoid all the EQs. There's so many options with this guy. And with Thermal Exchange, wow, is he good. Immune to Burn is very strong. This one's the Loaded Dice with the Icicle Spear. Another item that I really like on him.
It's the new standard.
Is because he can't be burned. I also really like Clear Amulet because then he's immune to Intimidate too.
Okay, I don't hate that at all.
So yeah, then the Garganackle with Terra Poison. Go for it.
So
what a set! What a set! It's almost like you wrote it.
So this set is straight up utility with Terra Poison. So you usually... So this is why Chisok is so masterful, okay?
Filthy
All right, go for
stall players. Dirty, filthy stall.
This is why Chisok is, like, so good and why he won is because he's not afraid to pull the trigger.
Yeah, he's got the next level reads.
On Terra-ing
a
Garganackle in the finals, okay? Like, it's normally...
Terra Poison, so he resists the fighting. He's no longer weak. He resists grass, which comes in really great because what's the next thing that beats down Dozo, obviously, is also Garganackle. You can't do anything to stack up like Toxic or Burn on him. You can't paralyze him or sleep him with Spore because of his ability. So people use the Meowscarada to Flower Trick crit through the usual set, which is Iron Defense.
Yeah.
This guy, not only did he not take the Iron Defense, he didn't even waste his time on it. He did take the Terra Poison to now resist the Flower Trick also, but he's got Protect, Wide Guard, Recover, Salt Cure. So he's not even going for the setup. He went for the Wide Guard.
He went straight up for the longevity and the utility, and he played it so perfectly.
Because Wide Guard is insane. Make It Rains, Discharge, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Heat Wave. There's so many spread moves. It's insane.
Dazzling Gleam,
Hyper Voice. Big one. Hyper Voice is insane. That's everywhere. So yeah.
And he's Terra Poison, so like Sylveon can't touch this.
Exactly. So he basically just kind of walls right in his face, and he played it really well.
Because that second game, he went Terra Poison, like turn 1.
Yeah.
And Chuppa had no answer.
Nothing.
There was literally nothing
you can do. It's just GG instantly.
Nothing.
Choice Specs Goldango. I love it. So he's going Power Gem Focus Miss. Now, personally, I understand why he's going Focus Miss. Part of the reason is because a lot of Goldangos go Steel. Mm-hmm. So you can hit him super effective. He doesn't have Aura Sphere, obviously. That's why we're going Focus Miss. But another big thing is, before they Terra, both Baxcalibur and Hydreigon are weak to the Focus Miss, the fighting type. So that's really big in the meta, too. It also hits Garganackle for super effective, before Terra, for super effective. It's obviously Make It Rain will too, but if they're predicting that, or if you don't want to chop your special attack down, there are other options. But
King Gambit as well. Also, it's King Gambit.
There's another great one. So it hits so many strong things in the meta. So I like the Focus Miss tech, although I'm not a big fan of Focus Miss. Hence why I call it Focus Miss.
Just ball out, man. Click it with confidence,
and then he went Power Gem instead of the Thunderbolt. I personally like Thunderbolt, but what do you think?
I think it's good tech because Talonflame is rising in popularity over Murkrow.
It's because he's technically faster in the 1v1 mirror matchup versus Murkrow because they're both priority, and then it goes based off move speed, and Murkrow's only like in the 90s, and this dude's like 130 or whatever.
It's also a decently safe option against some teams. Like I could imagine that once you weaken to Torkoal, that you can pick up a KO. I would imagine this does 80 to 90% to a Torkoal, especially because this is choice specs.
And it's special side. So that's pretty good. Yeah. Life Orb Mimikyu with Play Rough, Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak, Protect. Very, very, very stock standard.
The standard,
for the offensive Mimikyu set. Focus Sash Meowscarada, another thing we talked about. Protect, Sucker Punch, Knockout, Flower Trick. Literally the exact set you found on our set guide day 1 of Gen 9. Is right there.
Another key to this is Focus Sash Overgrow.
Focus Sash Overgrow. Exactly what we talked about.
Getting taken down to your Sash into Overgrow.
With Flower Trick.
With Flower Trick. And Terra if you really are in a spot.
And he's Terra Grass. Yep. Very, very, very strong. Also a great answer for the Teemo.
Yeah.
So Amoonguss comes out against this. You just knock him off. And then your opponent can easily pick up that KO. Last but not least was the saving grace, the thing that won him the tournament. The thing that we've called out twice on this channel for our hot pick section. 2 different times.
Mm-hmm.
The Bullshifu, bro.
Bullshifu. Water Tauros, dude.
Paldean Tauros, the water form, with safety goggles. Again, another way to absorb or switch into or whatever for those spores. You're immune to Rage Powder, so you can hit who you need to. So you have Meowscarada and both the Intimidate that can get through the Rage Powder and hit who they need to, the redirection. Close Combat, Wave Crash, Aqua Jet, Protect with Intimidate. And he's also Terra Water for those really strong Aqua Jets. Exactly what we've been talking about. So The pros are using that PMC tech. I like it. It's not literally ours, but you get where we're coming from here.
I gotta say, safety goggles is an underused and underrated tech.
Very strong.
So we talked a little bit about Chuppa's team. He was running the Terra Dragon Order Up Dondozo.
Wow, was that cool.
Yeah.
And he had the Palmot. He also had the Goldango, which I really like. It's my favorite Goldango set. Protect Nasty Plot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
baby.
the good set.
That's the sauce. That is my favorite Goldango set.
Not that
No.
G-Sock brought a bad one.
No. Like, in terms of flavor, it's my favorite
if
flavor.
you're not going to specs it, then just run Nasty Plot. Yeah. So like a more detailed look at the team.
Yeah, he had the Choice Scarf Icy Wind Tatsugiri was sick.
That was cool. And then remember, he had Resto Chesto, Dragon, Terra, it was very, very, very scary down there. Absolutely evil. But part of the reason he ended up losing is because he got his Chesto knocked off.
He lost,
so he was never able to recover off all that damage.
In strong. Yeah. Yep. So very, very, very close matchup. Really cool team here. I like the Jake that he had with the Assault Vest.
Yeah, Assault Vest Arcanine.
Assault Vest Arcanine with Terra Fairy with Play Rough. That was
super
very cool. I really liked the Palmot.
Yep.
Obviously really great with the Revival Blessing. That was super cool.
Yeah.
So lots of good stuff here. We also saw a King Gambit. Aaron Brock, I believe, was the one running the King Gambit. There was a couple of misplays there.
Yeah.
We didn't want to necessarily call out this player in specific. It was just his games were where we noticed it. And this was one thing we've been talking about with King Gambit. And our King Gambit guide is actually on the release this week or next Monday?
Next week. Yep.
Next week.
Next week we will have King Gambit how to use.
A big thing with that is, he gets the Sucker Punch, but he also gets Kowtow. Sometimes you just have to Kowtow, and that went you can't overthink it. Sometimes he played himself a little, maybe.
Because ultimately that's what kept him from the finals match. He was like the matches were really even, but then like he would sucker he would sucker when he needed to Kowtow, and he would Kowtow. He didn't he gave it. There was a Mimikyu. He was up against G-Sock's Mimikyu, and he just gave it too much respect. He let it. First game, he let it on the field
way too
for almost the
whole game,
and it was able to just cause chaos. And then the second game, he took it out so fast and kind of tunnel visioned it
and lost too much in return.
And so ultimately, not playing his King Gambit right, and I'm not saying that I've played every Sucker Punch game correctly. But
it's
that
a risky
ultimately, that is what
we do see a lot of Meowscaradas in the top, 10, 20 of these. There are also a lot of Bolshifus. There are a lot of Kings, a lot of Goldies. You know what else there's a lot of? Dondozo, Palafin. Yeah. There's also a lot of Penelope.
Yeah, so
Hydreigon's popular. So there is a decent little amount of variety, but look at all those Teemos. Amoonguss is everywhere. Couple of Scizors, couple of Volcaronas, couple of Mimikyus, couple of Murkrows coming in here. A Salazzle at 18th is pretty cool. I did check out that team. There's a rental code there too.
Medicham was
sick. And there's a rental code for that squad.
There was another.
There's a lot. See, here's where the Psy-Spam teams
kind of fell off. Yeah,
they didn't run Uraraka.
I don't think Psy-Spam is better than Rain either.
And it's just it's something that is on the ladder a lot, but we didn't see a lot here.
Then Hariyama was
big
kind of popping off. Yeah,
he's got Wide Guard, he's got Fake Out, he's very, very strong.
King Gambit on at least every other team. There's a Kilo. Didn't make top cut. I don't think there's a single Kilowattrel on the top cut.
No.
Or Balava.
Lots of grass types coming in here.
Some Skeledirges.
Grass types are great.
Man, where's my boy Quack? Oh, literally right there.
There's a Quack.
It's like, bro, there's
37th Quack.
There's all of these.
And a Spathra. Wow, what a team.
Oh, hey, it's like they stole my original and Garganical.
Yep,
that's half of my first Series 1 3v3 team. So, yeah, I feel like, so this is something I wanted to say earlier. There's a star after. So I feel like this meta so far has been one of the least variety-ridden kind of.
I mean, there is variety, but it's not as bad as what Series 12 was at Worlds.
Yeah,
but it's close.
But here's the thing with Series 12.
I think it's okay.
Here's the thing with Series 12. Okay, that eventually evolved into teams. Okay, so at first Series 12, right? The Sun team. It was Raya Sun.
Yeah.
Raya Sun won like a bunch of tournaments, but then we got into this kind of meta where things changed, and you saw this more like utility Sun change the meta. Remember, like Yveltal ended up being like a huge player in Series 12. So like you saw things like Yveltal and like Venusaur was up and down in the series as well. So that meta actually evolved. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This one has evolved a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because it's only 2 months, we're never going to see it evolve into something like Series 12 evolved into, or Series 9, or Series 7.
I see what you're saying. I like where we're at in Series 1 because it allows us to play what we want.
I mean, the team building's easy. We know what the threats are. They're all right here.
Exactly.
They're on every single team.
Exactly. So I do like there is, the fact that Aaron got so far with Farigiraf does make me happy. And his team looks like a team.
Well, hold on. Let's take a detailed look at this.
Aaron's
Farigiraf
team
too.
literally looks like something that we would build. Okay, I just think he misplayed it a little.
Safety goggles, psychic dazzling
with
gleam, trick room, helping. I love that set. That is. Oh, and it's Terra Fairy. That is sick. Yep. I love that.
Very strong. With those safety goggles and armor tail, so he's good against both Murkrow and he's good against two of the best leads in the game with Amoonguss and Murkrow.
Yeah.
So then we obviously have the Focus Sash, Meowscarada, U-turn, Protect, Flower Trick, Knockoff. So no Sucker Punch, going for the U-turn instead. I personally like the Sucker Punch, but U-turn has its uses.
And U-turn's really strong against opposing Meowscarada. So if you catch him switching in,
×4.
Yeah. So Meowscarada is not safe to switch in on Meowscarada.
And I love the Focus Sash there.
Right.
Focus Sash Meowscarada is my personal favorite.
Yep. Same.
Assault Vest. Let's go with Terra Flying. We've talked about this before. This is actually, spoiler alert, going to be in our set guide. Assault Vest King is very, very potent threat. And then we have the Life Orb 3 attacks, Terra Blast with Grass, and then the Grass Terra, also exactly what I told you. What is my secret hot pick?
You said Terra Grass. I'll give it to you.
For Pelipper, because everybody runs Terra Ground. Now, here's my thing. Terra Ground's great, but I think it's second place. Why is that, Zero? Because Terra Ground, yes, it makes you immune to electricity, but it means that you're now neutral. It goes from a immunity to now neutral damage to those earthquakes from Garchomp. And Garchomp's still in the meta, regardless of whether you're on Showdown, Cartridge, Ladder, Tournament. Garchomp still is a thing. Earthquake is still a thing. So being Grass now means you go from ×4 weak to electricity to resisted instead of immunity. But in trade, you're now also resisting the ground type moves.
You would have to,
as well.
So like Terra Ground can work. It's really good against other Kilowattrel.
Mm-hmm.
But I see what you're saying.
I personally like Terra Grass, like 2% more.
Yeah,
it's not a wide margin.
Here's the thing with Terra Ground.
Grass is the best.
Here's the thing with Terra Ground. You can go Terra Ground, but I think when you go Terra Ground, you need to have the perfect setup. You need to have your Terra still available, and you need to have caught this Garchomp locked into Rock Slide in an end game.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, those are the conditions, those perfect conditions for Terra Ground.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I mean,
and look at that set. Citrus Berry, so he's super bulky, max defense, Hurricane, Tailwind, Wide Guard, and Pump with Citrus. Mm-hmm. Just literally the stock standard.
He's a man. He's a man, and he went for Hydro Pump.
That's not what I run. But other than that, that's the PMC tech. And then look at that exact Cartman. Terra Steel, Bullet Punch, Fake Out, Knockoff, Close Combat. The exact... This looks like it was built by us.
Yeah,
it's so fun. I wish we are going to try to find a rental code because we want to play this team right now.
Yeah. So... I don't know what else potentially we.
So let's talk about James Beck's team.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Beck versus Wolfie. Yeah, let's start with Wolfie. So we saw his Dondozo was Terra Flying, I believe. Yep, Terra Flying.
Terra Flying Dondozo, which is pretty interesting.
Yep. And then he had a bulky
Tatsuki.
So he was he running... We can't see. Was this the attack one?
He had... I don't remember which color, but he had a super bulky one. Protect, Icy Wind, Taunt, Draco Meteor, and then he had the Terra Steel with Citrus Berry. So super interesting to see the bulky tech. That's pretty unique.
Yeah.
And then he did have the choice Scarf Annihilate, U-Turn, Close Combat, Rage Fist, Final Gambit with Terra Grass, which is very, very interesting. And then again, he ran the exact Justin special. Focus Sash, Protect, Flower Trick, Knockoff, Sucker Punch. That's the way, that's the Meow Meow.
Yeah.
That's that chef's kiss tech. Everything else is second place.
Look at that, a world champion trying out your. He must have watched your how to use guide.
He must have. Sylveon with that stock standard you've been seeing all over the meta. This thing is a huge threat. Mm-hmm. So Throat Spray, it has Pixelate. That means any normal moves it instantly turn into Fairy and get a boost to their damage. Then Throat Spray, anytime he uses a voice move,
aka Hyper Voice,
he'll use the Throat Spray, and it will give him a +1 special attack. So Hyper Voice becomes a spread move. Fairy, plus it's boosted. Quick Attack now becomes Fairy. Mm-hmm. So he has a priority Fairy move, Stab, and then Terra Fire for that dual stab there, now not having the Mystic Fire to lean back on the way he used to.
He's got Armor Rouge. That's something we never saw on stream.
No, he didn't bring it too much, but it is there. It's pretty nice tech.
Yeah. Looks really good against like Hydreigon and stuff like that.
Yeah, so the Terra Dark is there, so that way he can't get Prankster taunted. Mm-hmm. We have Safety Goggles. So again, Murkrow leads. He's got the Safety Goggles to be able to switch in or whatever, just lead against the Teemos. He has the Flash Fire, again, really nice ability. Trick Room, Armor Cane, and Protect, and Psychic. So again, he's not relying on any tricks or shenanigans, no Psyshock, no Expanding Force, and no Wide Guard.
Yeah,
he went for just the raw Protect, so he really wants to make sure that he's playing a little bit more safe.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah,
because it got him really far.
He's there for Trick Room. He's literally there for Trick Room. That's his job on the team, is to maintain your speed control depending on what your opponent brings.
And then James Beck. So he's got the Goldie that we like. So it's kind of bulky with Nasty Plot. Protect, Shadow Ball, Make It Rain.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah,
this is my favorite Goldango. That's exactly the set there, is Protect, Nasty Plot. The lefties, I think it could be, whatchamacallit, Air Balloon.
Yeah.
I also think a good option would be Life Orb or Expert Belt.
Yeah. So pretty standard Amoonguss here. Then Talonflame, also.
Terra Dark.
Terra Dark, okay.
With Rocky Helmet.
Yep.
So he's actually the max physical defense Amoonguss here.
Okay.
So a little bit different than the normal spread.
Then we've got pretty standard Talonflame, but he uses offensively. He's got a Life Orb and Terra Flying.
Yeah. So he went crazy. He misplayed the Brave Bird the first game, and unfortunately he did not learn his lesson. He fell for the same trick on the Tatsugiri. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit jank how the mechanic works. When Tatsugiri comes out, you don't just miss, or you do miss. It doesn't just redirect.
Yeah.
So, and he fell for it twice. But he does also have the insane endgame Hydreigon. Scope Lens plus Focus Energy, Dark Pulse, and Draco Meteors will have a 50% crit chance on those moves. Terra Steel with Protect. Very, very, very strong late game cleanup. Kind of a win con thing.
Yep.
He sort of sets it up, and then he just, put him in checkmate and sweep the team.
And then to round it out, we've got Choice Specs Glamora. So Glamora, a Pokemon with a really strong stab combination.
And he does have Energy Ball.
And he has Energy Ball. Terra Grass, this is kind of, if you're going to run Choice Specs, this is the standard. And then Water Tauros, this is the same exact one as G-Sauce. Yeah, so we watched,
utilizing that Safety Goggles.
We watched the matchup between Wolfie.
He got played hard.
He got played really hard. I feel like, so two things went wrong for James, in my opinion. Like I said, I'm not going to speak for him, but just from an outsider.
From a viewer's
perspective, it looked like he was playing too safe.
Yes.
And he relied a lot on, both of his games, he went Terra, Flying, Talonflame. And I feel like,
and did the exact same mistake both games. So it's just like, oh no.
I feel like Terra Steel Hydreigon would have been a better option.
Yep.
Because you got the focus energy, the big damage.
And yeah. It's an interesting one, right? Because he's going for the offensive. He even has Life Orb, so like he almost kills himself when he lands a Brave Bird anyways. So it's...
And it's never... You're never going to... You can't two-shot a Dondozo even with that combination.
Even with the combination. So I think maybe you should have gone with something else there. Because imagine a Murkrow there that has Prankster T-Wave.
And
do you see what I mean? Like, you just paralyze the Dondozo and then start to chip it down. Or you quash it. Or you foul play and start to... You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of options there, maybe.
And we saw him make the adjustment to bring Glimmora the second game. Because, remember, we were like, okay, based on what we've seen...
Glimmora looks great.
What looks really good? We said Glimmora. He brought it.
But then he messed up.
But he lost it in one turn. Because I think he switched it in on a wave crash or something. I don't remember the exact details. He lost his win con as soon as the game started, and then he had to rely on...
he threw away the Tauros, remember? And then he brought right back out to the bird again.
Yeah, but and his Glimmora got one shot. It literally never got off a move.
Exactly. So it's just a rough spot to be in. Dondozo is just a really hard check to his team on paper. So it's hard for him to get around, period. He doesn't have the Thunderbolt on the Goldango. He doesn't have a grass move on Amoonguss. He does or Clear Smog.
The Dondozo was Terra Flying anyways, and with Terra Blast.
But there's also no Clear Smog. There's no... Because he went for Pollen Puff. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, I always go Clear Smog right now because of the Dondozo matchup.
Yeah.
Because unless he has the Terra Ice, or if he has a physical Ice move or Terra Flying Terra Blast, he can't one-shot with any of his moves against my Teemo set. So I always get the one-off, clear all of his stats off, and it goes after the order up, so get rid of even the special plus there. You know what I mean? From the Tatsugiri specific. That's my tech, is I always go Clear Smog.
Yeah. So I feel like we kind of covered all of the big talking points. Congrats to Chisok for the victory.
Really fun to watch. It was exciting.
Yeah. And we're going to be covering a lot of regionals, so... look forward to future podcasts. We'll be talking about regionals. Who knows what we're going to do for the next one? Probably a Series 2 preview.
Next spot is going to be Series 2 Deep Dive. So we gave you a little tease today. We're going to put all of our notes together, doing a couple of pre-game set guides, maybe doing a couple of teams that are on Showdown, and we're going to have some experience. All of that goodness wrapped up in a bow for you on the next podcast in 2 weeks. You can catch this podcast where, Zero?
On Spotify and YouTube.
Go check out the stuff on Spotify. We are also posting a lot of stuff on YouTube right now, as well as our stream will be on YouTube. So definitely go check that out. Check us out on Twitter and or Facebook to keep up to date with if and when we're going to be going live.
Help us grow those socials. If you're still here, follow us on the socials, please. We want to grow those.
Make sure you guys leave an extra like for the custom Sceptile. Come on, Alakazam mug.
We spent money on these. We need our money back. Hey, you guys got to like these.
Let us know in the comments who has the better mug. Is it Justin's Sceptile or is it Zero's Alakazam?
So we got Zero's Alakazam. And then Justin's Sceptile. It's a good light. Mm-hmm.
Who do you think's got the better mug? Leave us down and let us know down in the comments. We'll have a nice little fun poll.
Yeah, all right. So, guys, thank you so much for listening to another podcast. We can't wait to do the next one. Like we said, keep your eyes out for that stream.
And we are going to have in this next rotation, so the next 2 weeks, we are going to have a battle video of us using the G-Sock Lee, this first place team here with the Garganackle, the Meowscarada, the Mimikyu, this first place team. So we will be trying this out. We already showed off the rental code. We'll also have a rental code in our battle video. Go check those out. We really appreciate it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We will catch you on the next one. Until then, I've been Zero.
And I'm Justin.
Council's adjourned.